This is Chris Jenkins with CharlotteVibe.com, and today I have the luxuries of having Carolina Panthers cornerback Josh Norman in the studio. So I appreciate you coming in. We're going to definitely talk about some football, but first, before football, you had a little break. You had an off season.
Yeah.
And I see that you are an adrenaline junkie. So how was your off season? What'd you do, man?
Oh man, off season was great. I went snowboarding first. I went to Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and went snowboarding there. It was a great time.
Pretty good?
Oh yeah, I wiped out a couple times. I had to get my feet under me, so that was a fun time. And then after that, I ended up going skydiving.
Okay.
I went skydiving.
Was that on a dare, or you just said, I want to go skydiving?
You know what, man? It was one of those things. JT hit me up. JT Thomas used to play cornerback for us, and hit me up like, "Hey, bro, you want to go skydiving?" It was something for his birthday. I was like, you know what, man? I always wanted to do it. I didn't feel like I was going to do it this soon, but it ended up coming about, and I was like, heck yeah, let's go ahead and go for it. So, shoot, I went out there and mastered my fears. Up there 10,000 feet in the air, and that door swing wide open, and it's like you waiting for like, seems ever. And finally, you get your legs out there over the ledge, and you jump off.
Was it a tandem jump?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it was a tandem jump.
Okay.
The first couple got to be tandem before you go solo. So that was my first one.
You gonna keep going until you can do a solo jump?
Yeah, I'm gonna go back. I mean, that was fun. That was like, you free from everything, you falling, and once you get over that fear and that whole height of everything is, man, you're just going out there and doing it.
It's good.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. And then after that, I went back to the beach and stuff, and I went jet skiing and, motorbiking, of course, my horses. So that's,
yeah, I was going to say, what about the horses?
Of course, those guys.
Got to deal with the horses?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like every other week when I go back home, like in, South Carolina, in Greenwood, and, I get to not Aiken, but Augusta where my dad at, so we go out there and we do a little horse riding. But
okay,
I gotta pick back up on my horses. I've been slacking lately, so I gotta
you had
get
a little
back
saddle
on.
walk when you was done.
Yeah, man, shoot, they Big Delta. That's my man right there. That's my guy.
Okay.
16.5 hand horse, so
okay,
he's running. I feel like I was Kentucky Derby out there.
Okay.
Running Triple Crown, so I gotta slow down.
Well, you took a break from OTAs to run over here and talk to me, so I appreciate it. But the fans want to know, how's OTAs been going for you?
Oh, man, OTA's been going well. Just getting reacclimated to everything. I think that's the biggest thing for us. Just getting our feet back into, the feel of where we last started off from, and then, accelerating that with all the play calls that the coaches having us do, and just, regurgitating it back onto the field, and getting your feet and your foot placement and proper leverage. I think that's the key for what we learn in this OTA session.
Okay. Now I know I'll say anonymously, I was told several years ago, and I probably have never told you this, but I was told by a teammate how much potential you had, how great you could be, right? And it seems like last year that greatness started to come out. What would you say has attributed to that turnaround for you?
Well, me personally, I just feel as if, I always, want to be the best, number one, and compete at a high level. And when you put me in a situation where my back is against the wall, I'm coming out fighting, guns hot. And it's kind of one of those things where I've been blessed with a tremendous amount of ability that God's given me, and I don't want to squander that. So I try to do my best in everything, in every facet of life, and it's just, this is my occupation, this is my job, so I'm trying to be the best at my job.
Is Shut Down Corner about to be a part of the Josh Norman name?
Shoot, man, I guess that's what you want to call it. But I just got to be mindful of situations and just be aware, and not get too high and not get too low, just even keel. And, when I see something, just know that, when you see a lot, you see a little. And when you see a little, you see a lot. And just maintaining my eye discipline and my focus, and I think, sky's the limit.
Now, some people would say, I want your take on this, that to be a true shutdown cornerback, you got to follow the other team's best wide receiver across the field. What's your take on that?
Man, I've been doing that since I was in high school, college, and now pros. Like, I think the first time people have actually really seen that ability come out is like last year when I was shadowing the number one guys. And I've been doing that really practically like majority of my life.
So you follow around other teams number one.
Yeah, I really wanted to do that like 2 years ago. Like, Coach, I can do this. And, you know, it takes time to build up to that. And finally, you know, they trust me enough to be able to handle the other team's number ones. And when I was able to do it and excel at it, you know, it was like, oh, so Josh can do this. So, you know, we're going to continue to go with it. And, you know, it's just one of those things that I've taken that competition, that competing, trying to do something nobody had done before, and, you know, shutting a guy down. And I take very much pride in that. And man, I created everything to the defense because it's just not one person out there. You know, you got 10 guys, and you make 11, so it's just being 1/11 of the defense. And, you know, contributing, you know, that pass rush to the great secondary play. You know, they both go hand in hand.
Okay. We're going to get into some more football as the season goes on. Like I said, a big reason I wanted to have you by is also give the fans another opportunity to connect with you. So you up for some fan questions now?
Sure.
They shouldn't be too bad. We got Dexter98 on Instagram. He says, almost what we were just talking about, do you feel like you could be a top 10 cornerback this season?
Well, this season, well, last year I know I definitely was. I had to be. I definitely had to be. I mean, I was playing like to the point where, man, life was dependent on it. I was that entrenched in the game, and I'm still the same way and fiery and still has those same aspirations and goals in mind. So, yeah, man, I think every year I'm a top 10 cornerback. I think I'm a top cornerback, period. Okay. You got to think like that because I feel like if you think anything less of yourself, that's what you're going to be.
Right.
You know, so I always shoot high and see where we fall in the puzzle.
Okay. Next one was Brian, I hope I say this right, Elgort off of Twitter. What aspect of your game did you focus on improving the most this offseason?
Right now, it's just my eyes, man. Right now, I'm getting back into having that eye discipline.
Explain that eye thing for the casual fan, what you're really talking about with that.
Okay, so what I'm really talking about when I talk about the eye discipline is more so when I said earlier, you see a little, you see a lot. You see a lot, you see a little. So what I mean by when I look at, you know, 1 and 2, 3 receivers on my side, I'm looking at a whole bunch of people. But I should be only looking at number 2 and seeing what he's doing to kind of get my read.
Okay.
And so if I'm looking at number 3 or I'm looking in the backfield of the quarterback, I'm looking at more than what I should be looking at. So if I'm seeing a little by just keying on what I'm supposed to be, that's number 2. And number 1, I'm peripheral out of my, you know, left side of my eyes. And if he has a sit-down route, which is a China, 5-yard sit-down, and number 2 comes up the field and runs that post corner like a 7 route, then I got to maintain my eyes and not be off at number 3 and whatever he's doing, or in the backfield when Cam Newton hands the ball off and do that fake. You know, I just got to maintain and see, you know, my keys. And I do that, I feel like, you know, I'll take the next step.
Your game will continue to elevate.
Oh, yeah.
Greg from Twitter, what is it like working opposite of Peanut Tillman, and has he taught you to punch the ball out?
Everybody been on there. Nut is, you know, he's a cool guy. He really is. He's a veteran of the veterans. I mean, he brings a lot of like wisdom and knowledge of the game to our, you know, secondary room, and you know, the ability that the guy has. You can see that, you know, he's a wily veteran. He's been here for a while, and kind of gets things, you know, I pick up on, and I try to like mimic a little bit and see if I can put that in my toolbox.
Yeah.
Maybe use, but he's been nothing but great so far, and I see him continuing to be that way.
Yeah, everybody's eager to see how much he teaches this punch and ball thing.
Yeah, he has that knack for the ball, you know, and it's like he wrapped his wrist up with tape. And man, you come around that corner with Nut, you definitely better believe that ball is gonna come out, because he's punching and jabbing
the whole time.
The whole entire time. So that's him.
One more, we got JWiley5 on Twitter. How much better is this team than it was last year? We don't have a lot of turnover as much as we did a couple of years ago.
Yeah. Well, the defensive category, you got to look at it. I think we still are at the top. When that front gets that pressure and you sit back there in the secondary and you look at it, they back there holding the ball. So it's kind of like, all right, when you hold the ball, which your options, who you going to throw to?
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those things, if you throw it out into the flats, we're going to rally. But if you throw it up deep and high over the top, we're going to go get it. So you can kind of look at it last year, we didn't have that many deep balls over the top. So therefore, the amount of plays that we was having was more so intermediate and under routes, which, the guys catch, but it's kind of like hard, coming up and trying to get an interception on the under route when you're supposed to be over the top, playing everything from deep to short. So it's kind of a little bit, goes hand in hand with, the pressure and then the back seven, and getting that hands-on people. And I think that's where we excel, with hands-on.
Well, it's been fun watching you grow, man. I can't wait to see some more of that swag out on the field this season.
Yeah,
contain it.
Contain it.
Contain it. You know we get scared sometimes.
What I do to get scared, though? Am I that bad? Jeez.
How can people, you're on Twitter, right? So how can people follow you on Twitter? Because I know you said you're going to be more on the social media, and it seems like you are.
Yeah, man, I'm doing a little bit better. I'm doing a little bit better.
So look at this camera here and tell them how to follow you on Twitter.
All right, on Twitter, you can go to J_NO24. That's on my Twitter account. Okay. I think my
Instagram not so much.
Instagram is
we'll work on that for next season.
Oh yeah, we'll work on that. My Instagram is trash. I got like 16. Like I don't be on none of that stuff, man. I try to do it for the fans because I know I can try to give back to y'all as much as I can. Try to give you some inspiration on Sundays and game days.
Yeah, we got you here though. We gonna take care of
it. We'll see.
So, as always, thank you guys for watching. I always invite you to subscribe to the YouTube channel. That way you can see these videos when they first come out. And, of course, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Charlotte Vibe. Thank you guys for watching. Josh.
Hey, man. I appreciate it, Chris.
Let's do this.